Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to get a solo win on Elden Ring Nightreign. This video is for beginners and it is for the first boss, the Tricephalos, that you're going to end up fighting. And I'm also going to be showing you how to properly do your route and to make sure your weapon and level are at a good point so where you can take on the Tricephalos by yourself. So a good thing right when you start, you're going to want to pull out your map and just get a lay of the land and figure out where everything is at that you're going to need to grab. I mean, obviously, when you first land, your goal is to go to the camp that is directly right next to you. And you're going to want to go in here, take out the enemies. And right now, I have a Sacred Blade relic that I'm using. So every first weapon that I use has the Sacred Relic Ash of War on it. Now after you get done taking out these guys, we're going to just roll through all the items here, open all the chests, and we're just going to immediately grab everything. We're not even going to look through it all, see if we need it, just so we can get through this as quick as possible. Because every second matters in this game. Like, I used to not realize that at first, and I used to kind of slowly look through things, and then yeah, it really matters every second. So after we kill some enemies, we're going to immediately level up, because the first two levels that you get are very important, and it'll help you be able to take out enemies that you normally wouldn't be able to fight if you hadn't leveled up at all. So I would make it your first priority is to at least kill a handful of enemies and just try to level up within the first couple of minutes. And then after that, we're going to head into this cave right here. And any cave will have these. We're looking for the Smithing Stone 2. And like I said, any cave you go into will have the Smithing Stone 2. It just matters what enemy has it. Sometimes the knights have them. And in this case, this big giant is going to drop one. So we're going to take out this guy as quick as we can. So once you take this guy out, he's going to either have a weapon or he's going to have a Smithing Stone 2. So my suggestion would be to get the Smithing Stone, because then you can get your weapon to purple, which it does a lot more damage. Obviously, you need the first Smithing Stone first, and a lot of the time, like in this, for my case, in this room, I'm going to end up finding a Smithing Stone 1. And if you can't end up finding one in the cave, when you go to the guide to upgrade your weapons, he normally always sells a Smithing Stone 1. So then you'll need that to upgrade it once, and then you'll use the second one that you got from the cave. So these two Smithing Stones that you need are very, very important to make any sort of progress throughout your days and on the Tricephalos Night Lord at the very end. So after we do that, we're going to head back out, and we're not even going to stop to kill any enemies. If you want to, that's fine, but we're mainly in a rush and trying to get where we're going. Now, after we get out of the cave, we're going to head straight up here and launch up this, and we're going to be heading towards this little camp building right here, and we're going to go up against the Golem main boss. And just your main goal, you don't have to do the same exact route, but your goal is to be able to fight bosses that you know that you can beat at your level. I mean, there's certain bosses that are just way harder than others, and you're not going to be able to take them on. Like, unless you're just extremely good at the game, but in our case, this boss is very, very easy, and you can just sit there and wail on his legs, and in no time he'll be killed. And sometimes he drops good stuff, sometimes he's not going to drop anything you like. In my case, he doesn't drop really anything that I want. So he ends up dropping the Magic Flamberg and a shield. And based on your build, you're going to want to obviously grab weapons that are that suit your build better. But for my case, I'm not going to be grabbing anything. I grabbed the Flamberg actually, but I'm probably not going to end up using it, and that's okay. But we're going to head out, and since we killed that boss, we're going to go straight to the nearest resting point so we can upgrade our level. So now we're running through and we're taking out enemies as we go, not wasting too much time, and we are at level 4, which within the first like 5 minutes of this match. So the next important thing is to watch out for these little churches that I have marked right here on the left side of the map. These are where you'll find flasks to upgrade your health charges, basically. You'll get an extra flask each time you grab one, and it is very helpful. And sometimes there's anywhere from 3, usually 2 to 3. on a map, and you're going to want to mark those and make it a priority to get to them before they are covered by the storm. And if you can't get to them, that's okay too, but it really, really helps. Because by the time you get to the Night Lord, you're going to want to have at least 6 to 7 flasks on you. That way you have a little bit of breathing room. Because I swear for the longest time I didn't know where these were or how to find them. And by the time I got to the Night Lord, I'd only have like 4 heals. So make sure you look out for these and try to get to them as quick as possible. So next thing we're doing is going up into this castle. And when you find these golden pickled foulfoot, you're going to want to grab those as much as possible because they are your best friend in this game. They will help you get more runes when you are killing enemies, and they help so much when you're leveling up. And we're going to take out these big guys right here, these banished knights and these other small guys, and they should help us get quite a bit of runes. And make sure to use your combat arts as much as possible. I mean, they do recharge, and there is relics you can use that'll help recharge them quicker. But when you go up against guys like these and you don't have a whole lot of health, you're going to want to use them, and it'll stagger them. And then just make sure you can take these guys on before coming at them. If you feel unsure, it's probably not a good time to come after them. So this guy ended up dropping a claymore and improved infinity damage negation. So in this case we're just going to grab the claymore. We may or may not end up using it. The improved infinity damage negation is very helpful for bosses that are using any status effect at all, holy, fire, freeze, anything. That will help quite a bit. So like for the Tricephalos, it does fire damage. That would help for it. So right now, we're mainly looking for a guy to upgrade our weapons, and they kind of sit in a lot of different places. There is one at the main church, right in the smack dab in the middle of the map, and they kind of go everywhere, though. So I don't think that you can find them on the map, but when you find these little scarab things, they will almost always drop a talisman that you can grab. And luckily in our case, it dropped a golden scarab, so that way when it's equipped, you will be able to get extra runes for killing enemies, which is very, very helpful for leveling up. And if you use that on top of the golden pickled foulfoot, you will have a lot of runes to work with. So we're going to head up the stream here, and we're going to go towards the little church to get our extra flask. And again, like I said, when you grab these, make sure that you look for them on the map before you do anything, like right before you even land. And mark them out, make sure you know where they're at, try to get to them, because sometimes they're on the outside of maps, and you gotta get there before the storm comes in and covers them. So luckily there ended up being another church nearby where we can go grab another flask, and that'll give us 5 flasks to work with. And then once you finish the boss right before the Night Lord, you will get an extra flask as well. So another thing that's very helpful, if you go on your map, you can see all of the different points of interest on the map. And you can see these little symbols next to them, which show what kind of affinity or status effect weapons you'll find there. And some of them have bleed, some of them had fire, some of them have holy. And based on whatever Night Lord you're fighting is the kind of weapons you're going to want. So for the Tricephalos, you're going to want holy, and you'll be able to spot the places out on the map that have holy weapons, and so you're going to want to be looking out for those. Sometimes I've gone to them and they don't end up having the weapons, so you might be just SOL sometimes, but most of the time when you go to a guy that you can level up your weapons, most of the time he will end up selling the weapon that you'll need or a holy weapon. So once you start noticing the circle getting smaller, make sure you pick and choose your bosses wisely and ones that you know you can kill. Because if you end up dying to one, obviously you're going to lose the level, and no one wants that. So in my case, the Flame Chariots, they are very, very quick and easy boss to kill. And there is a trick to jumping on top of their head and being able to one-shot them. If you jump on top of their head and hold right bumper, you can just stab right in. But as you can see, the storm's coming in. So I made a big mistake right here and thought I could kill him. And then I was like, screw it, I'm going to run over here and try to upgrade my weapon. And we ended up doing that very quickly. but then I end up dying, and so we upgraded our starting weapon, which has the Sacred Blade on it, and the only reason I'm upgrading my starting weapon is because it has Sacred Blade, and I don't know if I'm going to end up running into another Holy Weapon, and since we already have Holy damage on it, it's going to be the best weapon for the Tricephalos. So as you can see, I died right here. So I got my weapon upgraded, and now the circle is down to very small, so at this point we're going to be fighting a boss, and we're not going to worry about our runes right now. We are going to be able to go back and get them if we beat this boss, so I'm not going to worry about it too bad. We are at a decent level, so we should be able to take them out. They have made it way easier in solo to take out the bosses, so it shouldn't be a big deal. Once you start realizing what little enemies you're going to take out, it should determine which boss you're going to end up fighting. So when it's these little demi-humans, it's most likely going to be the demi-human queen and the little demi-human Yoda guy. So obviously you're not going to end up getting the same boss every time, but if you do get these guys are the easiest ones to take out. We're going to use our combat art and go after the small one. We're going to do a death blow on him, and then he's almost dead, so we're just going to use our Sacred Blade at him, and he's dead. Just very, very quick. And now we're going to go after this guy, and he shouldn't be a problem. Once he gets about halfway or a quarter way, he starts going kind of crazy and summoning enemies, so you're going to want to watch out for them. And just make sure you're healing up and not dying. Obviously, if you do die in solo, you do get one more shot. And the easiest way to take these guys out is just roll through their attacks and have any sort, like your best weapon, obviously, you're going to want to be using. And in this case, it's the Holy Weapon that I have, and which took him out very, very easily. So the best thing about killing bosses is the runes and being able to get these special items from them. And in my case, I didn't have anything here that I needed. I wasn't using a thrusting weapon. I wasn't using a shield for parrying, and you definitely do not want to pick the bottom one, the slow restoration on your flask, because that just screws everything up, and it's just a noob pick, honestly. I picked it before, and you regret it completely, because when you're healing up, it's just going to slowly heal you up. It's not going to, heal you up all the way, so very, very bad mistake to make if you do pick it. So after that boss fight, we just made it from level 5 to 7, and we are on the second day. Now, when you're still on the Tricephalos Night Lord and you haven't beat him yet, you're not going to be dealing with any land shifting or anything yet. So you're just focusing on the main parts of this map. And like I said, you're going to want to watch out for the churches that have extra flasks. You're going to want to watch out for the points of interest. You have the kind of status effect weapon that you need to kill the final boss, which in this case, the Tricephalos is weak to holy, so you're going to want to be looking for holy weapons. You're going to want to be looking for seals that have holy spells on them, or looking for weapons with holy Ash of Wars on them, like the weapon that I have. But I'm using a relic that makes you start with Sacred Blade, like I said before. So once we're on the second day, we can go back and get my runes that I dropped. So if this ends up happening to you, just know that your runes will still be there on the second day. And we're going to come back and we are going to kill these flame chariots since we couldn't before. And like I said, the easiest way is to jump on top of their head and one-shot them through the top, just like this. And like I said, you will kill them in one hit. And they're the easiest boss probably to take out. And you just run around and do that with all three of them. Once we've killed the boss, we get to choose which item we want. In our case, we get the Gargoyle's Great Axe, the Serpent God's Sword, or improved stance breaking. And it's really up to you which one you want. I should have picked the improved stance breaking, but I ended up getting the Gargoyle's Axe just because it's always good to have a heavy weapon that you can just one-shot enemies with. Mainly because when you have a heavy weapon like that, you can literally just bonk them, even big enemies, and it breaks their stance a lot. So it's good to have weapons like that. So we're going to level up once, and then there is, most of the time in these camps, there is an area to upgrade your weapon, which we did in the first day, and we're going to go right back over to it. But right now, we don't have any extra stones. And like I said, you can get the +2 stone that turns your weapon from blue or gray to purple. And you can find those in the caves. Like I said in the beginning of the video, you'll always find those in caves. So at this point in the match, I was able to find another church where we can go get another flask. So we're going to head up here, and the church is going to be right here. Then we're going to grab this flask here, which will get us up to 6 flasks. And like I said, once you killed the boss right before the Night Lord, it'll give you another flask, and then that'll get us up to 7. And I believe 7 is the max that you can get for a whole run, and you will get an achievement for that as well. So at this point in our run, we're just looking for bosses that we know we can take out and ones that aren't going to end up killing us. And the Sanguine Noble is a very, very easy boss to take out, especially if you're at level 7 like I am. He does bleed damage, which if you played the regular Elden Ring games, you know that. I just used my weapon art on him and damn near killed him in one hit. So very quick and easy boss to kill, get some quick runes. And he doesn't really have any weapons that we want. We don't really need bows. We're going to use the improved infinity attack power, which will improve our holy attacks, and which will really, really help us out. So we made it up to level 10, and the last boss that we're going to fight before the boss before the Night Lord is Leon and Misbegotten. And this guy's always usually chilling down in the water, either that or the ancestral elk thing. So we're going to take this guy out. This guy can be kind of hard. His hits hit hard. And yeah, my advice with this guy is just roll through his hits. Try to use your weapon art on him. Use your best weapon, obviously. In this case, I'm just using my axe because I know it hits hard compared to my starting sword with Sacred Blade on it. And this thing will just stagger the hell out of him. So we're going to just try to take this guy out before we fight the final boss before the Tricephalos. So after killing him, we get the choice of a couple weapons or improved stance breaking, and we are definitely going to pick the improved stance breaking because that's going to be very important for the bosses coming up, especially the Tricephalos. Being able to break their stance and stagger them is by far one of the best things that can happen in a boss fight, because then you get the chance to do a death blow on them and take out mass amounts of health. Also, at this point, we are at level 11, which is very, very good to be at. You want to be anywhere from 9 to 11 at this point, just so you have enough health by the time you get to the Tricephalos. You're not completely worried about your health being an issue. Also, it increases your mana and your stamina as well. So it really helps having a higher level. I mean, that's should go without saying. So we ended up having to go up against the Tree Sentinel and the Royal Cavalrymen. And honestly, these guys aren't too hard. The Royal Cavalrymen won't really mess with you a whole lot if you just are focusing on the Tree Sentinel, which I would focus on this big guy first before you take out the little guys. I mean, it's totally up to you. But this guy is going to be the issue, and I would suggest taking out him first. You just want to use a weapon that staggers him, like I'm doing right now. I'm using a fire weapon, which this isn't even my best weapon, but I'm only using it because I know these charged attacks are going to stagger him, which will give me more hits in between while he's staggered, and it'll take him out a lot quicker. So once we take this guy out with the last hit, we just have 2 more guys to take out, and these guys are just very, very simple to take out. As soon as you're hitting them, they'll just sit there and be staggered every time. So you can just knock them right off the horse and then do a death blow to finish them off when they're on the ground. And then just do the same thing with the next one. So after we kill them, we get the choice between all resistances up plus 75, improved stamina recovery plus 6, and increased maximum HP plus 15%. So the first one would be good for fire resistance, obviously. The stamina would be very good to help with your stamina if you feel like that's an issue. Or the HP, which I ended up picking because I feel like more health is always better. So once we gotten over to the Spirit Shelter, we get the choice to get a Wending Grace, which will give us 1 extra life. And I highly suggest buying that if you are doing a solo run, just because you'll get 2 lives at that point. You get 1 extra life, no matter what. And then when you buy this thing, you get 1 extra life. So also these flasks that you can buy are very helpful. The one that turns health damage into health is very, very good. And then there's like a one-time damage negation bubble that goes around you. And then there's one that slowly regens your health. It's up to you which one you want to buy. They're all very good. And to have boiled crab when you go in there for defense is also needed as well. I would highly suggest putting one of those on. It helps tremendously when they take attacks at you. So after this, we are going to put Golden Vow on. That way we can have increased attack power and increased defense. So when going into the fight, I would use your boiled crab right away and maybe an exalted flesh. That way you can do some extra damage. But as soon as they spawn, they're going to come charging directly at you. And you're just going to want to roll past them. And if you have any sort of holy weapon or spell, cast them. Watch out for this chain. They will swing it around. You're just going to want to roll once and then roll twice over it. And then they're going to swing it down. And if you stay closer to them on that one, it makes it a little bit easier to dodge. And right now we're taking a lot of hits, and we just wasted our weapon art on them and not even hitting them at all. So, like I said, dodge that. That is the weapon that is going to hit you the hardest, and you're going to want to watch out for it. So we have to heal up at this point. We're just rolling through their attacks. They lunge at you quite a bit. And we're going to use a heavy attack on them right here. The charged heavies are the way to go on this boss fight, because if you stagger them, then you can do a death blow on them, and it takes a good amount of their health, just like I did. So we're going to do a death blow on them real quick. Takes a good chunk out, and then we're going to use a Sacred Blade right at them after we heal, which staggers them. And then we're going to keep hitting them, and then they're going to split up and go into the second phase. So at this point in the second phase, they're all three going to be split up, and you're going to want to focus on one dog, just like I have. I did a heavy attack and then just did a death blow on him, took him down to almost a quarter health, and you're going to want to keep watch on all three of them. They're going to be using fire attacks and nudges over and over and over, and their attacks aren't that complex, to be honest. It's just like, I feel like it's just the amount of pressure that you have on this fight because of what it took to get here. It takes a lot. Like, it's like a 40-minute run just to get to this fight, and you want to win. So they get back together. You're going to want to watch out for that chain. See, I just got knocked down for the first time. I get back up, and then we're going to use our sword on them. We're just going to keep rolling through their attacks. Keep using charged heavies on them as much as we can. And there we staggered them. This is like the third time that I've staggered them in this fight. I wasn't able to get a death blow on them, but we're almost done with them. So they're going to do this heavy attack. We're going to dodge to the left. And then they're going to do this fire move, which you're going to want to roll through. I end up going down again because of it. It's a fairly easy attack to dodge. You just have to dodge at the right time. So this is where that second life comes in to play. It's very, very nice to have that, and it just gives you a little bit of breathing room. So we just have a couple more hits to do. We're going to hit this guy, and then we're going to use our weapon art on him. We get one more hit in, and then explode ourselves. And then we take them out. See, I'm not going to lie, it took me at least 7 or 8 tries to actually win this fight. Multiple tries with other people, and at least 5 times by myself. 5 tries of fighting this boss. Like, I don't know how many times I got so close to killing him and then didn't, and ended up losing at the last second. So it's a very, very tough boss to fight, but once you get the hang of his moves, he does become a lot easier. It's just not like any other fight, because you can't keep trying him over and over. You have to go through 40 minutes of playing the game first before you can try him. So it's not like you get to try him continuously. So once you finish the Tricephalos, you get an achievement. You get a lot of good relics. You get a special relic for beating him, and then you get a cutscene right afterwards. And yeah, so it's a very big achievement to get this done. I am the biggest Souls game fan, and I've played some of the hardest games, but I've got to say, man, this game is not easy. It really, really challenges you, and you either have to have a very good team with you or just be one of the best players by yourself. And I'm so glad that they fixed the difficulty level on solo matches. I mean, it's just made it much more tolerable to play. And yeah, I hope it helps you guys too, man. I'm assuming it will. But this is going to be it on me helping you guys route through the game and giving tips along the way. I hope this helped you guys. If you have any questions about the game, feel free to reach out. If you'd like to see more of this content on Elden Ring Nightreign, also feel free to let me know. I'd love to hear your feedback on it. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.